May 4th, freedom from compulsive disorders. Thank you for keeping me straight yesterday. Please help me stay straight today. Paraphrased from Alcoholics Anonymous. When I first began my recovery from codependency, I was furious about having to begin another recovery program. 7 years earlier, I had begun recovery from chemical dependency. It didn't seem fair that one person should have to address two major issues in one lifetime. I've gotten over my anger. I've learned that my recoveries aren't isolated from one another. Many of us recovering from codependency and adult children issues are also recovering from addictions, alcoholism or other drug dependency, gambling, food, work, or sex addiction. Some of us are trying to stay free of other compulsive disorders, ranging from caretaking to compulsively feeling miserable, guilty, or ashamed. An important part of codependency recovery is staying clean and free of our compulsive or addictive behaviors. Recovery is one big room we've entered called healthy living. We can wave the white flag of surrender to all our addictions. We can safely turn to a power greater than ourselves to relieve us from our compulsive behavior. We know that now. Once we begin actively working a program of recovery, God will relieve us of our addictions. Ask God each morning to help us stay free of our addictions and compulsions. Thank God for helping us the day before. Today, God, help me pay attention to all my recovery issues. Help me know that before I can work on the finer points of my recovery, such as my relationships, I must be free of addictive behaviors. I'm Herb the Addictaholic. This is the language of letting go. And, it's so easily said, or I was so easy to say, growing up, I have an addictive personality. I've got an addictive personality. I didn't even know what that really truly meant. I just knew that I could pick up cigarettes, I could pick up drinking, I could pick up smoking weed, I could pick up meth, coke, I could pick up all these addictive behaviors, but I only attributed addiction to drugs, right? Caffeine even. But I never attributed the addictive behaviors to other things like watching pornography or gambling or, working out can be a compulsive addictive behavior. Sometimes, like, let's say reading. I love to read. But if reading takes on too much of my time at the detriment of other important aspects of my life, then it's kind of bordering a compulsive addictive behavior. It's good to read. Reading's healthy. Eating healthy is healthy, but if you overeat healthy food, you're still overeating, So at some point, and that's my problem. I have that problem with everything. I drink coffee now, and I'll have a nice cup of coffee in the morning, and I'm exploring all these new coffees and stuff and ways of making coffee, pour overs and cold press, cold brew, whatever. But then, 7 cups in, I'm like, man, why do I keep wanting more of this coffee? Because it's becoming a compulsive, addictive behavior. So at least I recognize that now, and I can take a step back. I could ask my higher power to help alleviate the compulsive, addictive behavior that I have towards caffeine, and many other aspects. So it doesn't stop with just chemical dependencies. It goes on. There are many behaviors that I have, and I'm sure others do, that can be attributed to the same concept. And, a big one, I don't know if you're familiar with Russell Brand, but he's working 12-step program. He's in recovery, and he applies 12 steps to using media or digital devices or, computers and cell phones. And so he's applying the principles, and he's minimizing his exposure to social media, for instance, so that he's allowed to become, more grounded in himself and not so connected to this device and to the social media aspect of the world. And it's kind of neat to see, there's somebody else out there, a famous person who's following the same principles, the same 12 steps that I am, and applying it to aspects of their life that we might not seem as detrimental as drug use and alcoholism, but it can be, and it is in many ways. So just kind of nice to think about something to add to the plate. And I know it's like, I'm already dealing with trying to stay clean. Now I have to deal with Well, that's the thing, is we don't have to, we get to, you know, and not a lot of people do. And once, you know, we get sober, we get clean, and we start seeing people that are in the midst and the throes of their active addiction, we see how bad it's hurting them, and we feel for them, and we want them, you know, to get clean and sober as well, because we know that they're going to have a better life, you know, not to control them. And we don't do that, but we do see, and I recognize and feel bad for some of the people I love and know that are still in the midst of it all, and they can't see it themselves at the moment. And so when I'm on my phone and I'm scrolling and I'm going through Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and I'm like, wow, I've been doing this for an hour, I go, ooh, Russell Brand would look at me the same way that I look at somebody else who's you know, a fifth in. And I'm like, maybe I should take a break. And so I put the phone down and I go spend some time with my family, or pick up a book, or whatever it is. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope to see you tomorrow. Keep coming back. It works if you work it.